I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. Even the words that we are speaking now, thieving time has stolen away, and nothing can return. I stop and do nothing. Nothing happens. I'm thinking about nothing. I listen to the passing of time. This is time, familiar and intimate. We are taken by it. The rush of seconds, hours, years hurls us toward life, then drags us towards nothingness. We inhabit time as fish live in water. Our being is being in time. The original 1989 Prince of Persia had a 60-minute timer that began when you started your play session. There were no lives to lose, no game over. Just 60 minutes, and every wrong step, swing of the blade, narrow miss of a jump would send you back, slow you down, with that timer ever ticking. Time would go on to be an important element of the franchise in years to follow. But the timer would never return in its original form. There was a call the other day. Her name was Alice. Her husband was just diagnosed with Alzheimer's. It began like these calls always do, with her saying, "I would spend everything we have. I would spend everything we have." I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. I have two personal stories to share. When I was 5 years old, there was construction work nearby. You could get from the sidewalk to the roof of the new building. The workers were pouring tar on it. It was black, thick, hot like nothing I had seen before. I felt compelled to leave my father's side and get closer to watch. I found it all fascinating. As the years went by, I often wondered if things would have been different. If I didn't notice it. If I didn't turn around. But I did. It was a small bird, a sparrow, close by, stuck in the tar, unable to fly away. I didn't stop to think about what to do. I tried helping her out, but my hands were not strong enough to pierce the black, hardening thing. I got up and ran to get my father. Flush-faced, grabbed his hand and pulled. He understood I wanted him to come with me. Out of breath, I pointed to the bird. My father got on his knees near what was now a circle of feathers and dug his hands deep into the black sticky tar. The sparrow made terrifying sounds, interrupted only by desperate attempts to fly away. As he finally manages to get the bird out, I feel relieved. She seems calm. The noises stopped. My father opened his hands. Her head was twitching slightly. There was a lot of blood. I did not understand why she was silent. On the way back to the house, everything was silent. I couldn't hear construction noises. I couldn't hear the wind. Just my breath. As we sat on the living room floor, he said, "I'm really sorry it died." One look at me and it was clear I did not understand what that means. So he started talking about living things, about how they die, about how different people see death. At first he kept pausing, looking at me, expecting me to ask questions. I didn't. So he kept going, about plants, animals, about different gods, and how people like to think there's something after life. Years later, he told me my eyes didn't even move. I was just frozen there, completely engrossed, listening. That when he was done, we were staring at each other like this was some solemn moment, like there was nothing to add. "So everything dies?" I asked. "Yes, every living thing dies." "Why?" "It is part of life. The strong and smart have offspring. The weak and sick die. The small ones grow up to do the same, so every generation is stronger." "So you will die, I will have my children, and I will die. Yes. Does that make us stronger? No, I don't think it does. Not us, he said. Not long afterwards, he came home and handed me a book. I know that no amount of discussions we can have on death will give you all the answers, he said, wiping his brow. The truth is, we don't really know much. Look, this is a book written by someone who studied what death means to people. I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. The problem is that even if people do not believe in the fantasy of an afterlife, they hide under the illusory protection created by following the set of values imparted by their respective culture. I like animals, I do not want to eat them. I'm a vegetarian. I am all for family. I'm a hard worker. I've read a lot. I'm strong. I lived a good life. I was a good person. I had many wives. I spent most of my life meditating. I was a respected member of my community, a leader, an example to the young, a good feminist. I practiced good faith. By following your culture's set of values, you find a hiding place, away from the actual reality of impending oblivion. What does family values, community standing, vegetarianism do for Alice or her partner? We live by lying about ourselves and the world. Aging, death is the great unifier. Nothing matters. When the timer runs out, nothing matters. The reasons we seek this solace are clear. Back to Ernest. Nature has protected the lower animal by endowing them with instincts. An instinct is a programmed perception that calls into play a programmed reaction. It is very simple. Animals are not moved by what they cannot react to. They live in a tiny world, a sliver of reality, one neurochemical program that keeps them walking behind their nose and shuts out everything else. But look at us, impossible creatures. Here, nature seems to have thrown caution to the winds along with programmed instincts. She created an animal who has no defense against the full perception of the external world. An animal completely open to experience. Not only in front of his nose, in his Umwelt, but in many Umwelten. He can relate not only to animals in his own species, but in some ways to all other species. He can contemplate not only what is edible for him, but everything that grows. He not only lives in this moment, but expands his inner self to yesterday, his curiosities to centuries ago, his fears to 5 billion years ahead, when the sun will turn into a red giant, his hopes to an eternity from now. He lives not only on a tiny territory, nor even on an entire planet, but in a galaxy, in a universe, and in dimensions beyond visible universes. I am 8 years old. It's raining. I am outside looking up, looking at the sky. It's hard. Raindrops keep hitting my eyes. I pictured them forming high above. I pictured their journey to the ground, to my face. The rain is cold, outside is cold. Mother told me to wait for the ambulance. I'd much rather be upstairs, not down here. A raindrop hits my eye. I force myself to keep it open. Everything is blurry. I wonder why my mother had me wait here. We told them it's the 4th floor, apartment 16. I can hear sirens closing in. I slowly move towards the street. Everything is wet and cold. The ambulance pulls up right in front of me and 2 people come out of the back. It's the 4th floor, I tell them. They're rushing up the stairs and I keep just behind them. My mother is at the door. She's rapidly explaining what happened. I squeeze around all the people and climb on the bed for a better view. I see him down there, on the floor, with a pillow under his head. He's speaking, but I can't make out what he's saying. He looks scared. The ambulance people ask him questions, but don't wait for him to answer. They carry him down the stairs. As I step outside and feel the cold raindrops again, I imagine looking down from high above, watching the street from inside the clouds. I can go even higher and see the edge of the storm, the entire city. There are sunny places not far away. In the car, I play with the window, fogging it with my mouth. On the radio, some man is talking about the weather. Mom keeps up with the ambulance, following it closely and running lights. I'm trying to be in the car, but my mind keeps going back up, above the clouds. I look down at the small houses. I picture the people there. Mom brakes. We can't follow the ambulance into the hospital courtyard. She's pulling me by the hand as we run through the parking lot. I'm looking around. I see a girl. She's bigger than me. She is smiling, hugging people. They are all laughing. My hand hurts. I tell Mom, but she's not slowing down. Running through the entrance, the lights are on and there are no windows anywhere on this corridor. Mom tells me to wait on a bench. There is an old man next to me. We look at each other. My mother is talking to a nurse. She looks sad. Everyone here looks sad. Are you sick? The old man was asking me as a nurse was using a pump on his arm. No, my grandfather is. Are you sick? He was about to answer, but the nurse interrupted him before he could say anything. Yes, Mr. Agermeyer is very sick, and he doesn't take good care of himself. No, I'm not. The nurse is looking at me over her glasses while she keeps pumping. Elisabeth says you're in denial. It's the first step. We're all going to die sometime. His eyes are dry and red. He looks tired. He is bald with a short white beard. The nurse shakes her head. To my right, all along the corridor, in between one of the many doors, there are benches filled with people, all waiting. I'm wondering if they are waiting to die. If this is the last time they wait. It can't be. This is where they help people. A hospital is where people come to get better. The nurse takes the old man by the hand and into one of the rooms. Elisabeth was working in the hospital. People died there. The hospital didn't make them better. I can see my mother. She's waving for me to come to her. I get up. The hospital has a bad smell. I look at each and every person on the way. They all look scared. My mother is crying. She's squeezing me hard. I think Grandpa died. It was the last time he felt fear. I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. There is nothing unavoidable about aging and death. Picture a really large building, and we're all trapped inside. This building has a bomb that no one knows how to disarm. How absurd would it be if instead of spending every resource, every second to try and understand how the mechanism works, to change it, add to its timer and finally disable it? How absurd would it be if you saw people saying, "It's okay, I was a good person. I was nice to those on the second floor." Or people taking week-long vacations to the roof to sunbathe. People hoarding supplies because they deserve all of them. They work hard to collect them. The supplies are theirs. Reality is far more absurd than that example. "I would spend everything we have," said Alice. They did. They did so their entire life. Took lots of trips around the world, bought expensive luxury things, participated in many social gatherings, completely ignoring the timer. The same fate awaits you. Cancer, heart attacks. How sweet must it be to let go of the colossal burden of a self-dominating, self-forming life?
Not again. No! I will not yield! My mind is my own!
To relax one's grip on one's own center and to yield passively to a superordinate power and authority. And what joy in such yielding! The comfort, the trust, the relief in one's chest and shoulders, the lightness in one's heart, the sense of being sustained by something larger, less fallible. With his own distinctive problems, man is the only animal who can often willingly embrace the sleep of death, even while knowing it means oblivion.
I used to think everyone saw the world the way I did. But no.
If humanity is to survive into the future, we must expand beyond this place, focus on knowledge, the search for truth and answers. Every disease was once considered natural, a part of living, part of being human. We need everyone to work together, for we are fast approaching a point of inflection. What seemed natural will become unnatural, a point where humanity will redefine what is possible and what it means to be human, a time for ending the inevitable. The last train to nothingness is more terrifying than all the others before it. I want you to hear it. I want you to always hear it. Nothing matters when the timer runs out. The absurdity of covering it up, muting it, denying it, so that as it gets closer to zero, you sit on the other end of that call and say, I would spend everything we have. I want you to see the world differently. I want you to understand what aging and the melodies it comes with really is. Not only preventable, but reversible. I want you to not feel the illusion of safety, to let go of the self-deception you hold. I want you to not hide behind cultural shields, morality, peer values, spirituality. I want you to help, to do all you can, to make every decision within the context of the timer, of aging, of death. I want you to go through every mistake of thought and action, every wasted resource, every book, entertainment, every sunbathe on the roof. I want you to remember Alice. I want you to ask yourself before any purchase, tempting vacation, every moment you're about to waste, if your time, your money, your energy is worth this. Because the same fate awaits you. The timer is ticking away, hiding, acting like it isn't real, like it won't happen to you, will not make it go away. The moment you feel for the last time is coming.